Well, I guess this is a Halloween tradition now. Time for another Scooby-Dooby movie. Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders was released direct-to-video in October of 2000, yet strangely, I remember getting this early in December one year. It was a pre-Christmas present. You know, when your parents just dump a reward on you early for no reason. Maybe I got through school without pulling my teacher's hair that week. I don't know. It was a nice treat. Still, even though this might be more of a festive movie for me, nothing says Halloween like another spooky Scooby-Doo mystery. Let's find out if it's a terrible trick or a terrific treat. For some reason, my tape of this film has a really weird factory error. It starts with the trailer for that Thomas the Tank movie, but the sound is so garbled, you can't understand a word. I thought I'd broken the tape before I even watched it. But then the sound just suddenly comes back to normal. Why? I guess we'll never know. Still, I do like this bouncy early 2000s Star Trek, which probably doesn't exactly scream Thomas the Tank Engine, but it sounds nice.
Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Steaming his way onto video soon.
Next, a promo for the home video release of Pokemon the First Movie, because it's not like we haven't seen enough of this franchise advertised on these tapes already.
The Pokemon match of all time is here.
There's basically nothing left to say about this. I already got 2 videos out of it, so I'll just tell you a bad dad joke instead. How do you get Pikachu on a bus? Poke him on... yeah, next trailer.
Now available on video cassette and DVD.
It's all kind of the same from this point. The Miracle Maker, the Grinch, we've seen it all before. This was always kind of a shame as a kid. You'd crave to see something new, but instead you just keep getting the same trailers over and over again. Even the brutal death of Jesus gets boring after the 20th time you've seen it. It's like an exercise in insanity. Okay, we'll dive straight into the movie, which, appropriately enough, starts off in the far reaches of outer space. I mean, it'd be a bit weird if it started on the beach, wouldn't it? Down below, Scooby-Doo and the gang are off on another journey through the desert, where Shaggy is amazingly the designated driver.
There's a town coming up, and we need to stop for some chow.
I like the nighttime setting of this one. It's good atmosphere. But when a giant spaceship soars overhead, Shaggy loses control of the mystery machine and crashes into a cactus.
What was that thing? Was it some kind of jet?
A jet? Oh yeah, people are flying off to Spain on planes like that all the time.
That looks like a town. Can't be more than a mile away.
While the rest of the gang go off to find help, Scooby and Shaggy are left alone to fight over their lost Scooby snack.
Hey, let go! Roll mine. No, it's mine!
Give it another 5 minutes and they'll probably be trying to eat each other to survive.
Yeah, that's creepy, all right.
But the duo run into a pair of bizarre alien creatures, and it's time for the obligatory cover of the Scooby-Doo theme song, performed by Jennifer Love Hewitt. Believe it or not, there was a time when that could be a selling point. Still, never mind the music, I'm more focused on the design of these aliens. They always look like broccoli to me. Broccoli with tomatoes for eyes. I bet if you ate these things, it'd probably count as one of your 5 a day. Scooby and Shaggy escape into the local town diner, but no one believes them about their alien encounter.
Aliens? I don't see anything.
It's true.
No one, that is, except Lester, a crazy old man who claims to have been abducted by aliens in the past.
Them aliens are here to take over the world.
I'm sure he's a reliable source.
I woke up strapped to a cold metal table inside a spaceship.
He tells the gang about his run-in with the aliens, including a joke that, amazingly, wasn't censored.
But then...
Say no more.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Lester offers to show them his pictures of the aliens, but it turns out he's just a painter. Always nice to meet a fellow artist.
I've been trying to show people the danger out there, but no one is believing me.
Lester even allows the gang to stay at his house, and it's at this point that I'm just expecting him to lock them all up in a cage or something. But then I have to remind myself this isn't the Tom and Jerry movie.
Ladies can sleep in the back room. They used to be the kids till they moved out.
Ooh, I get the top bunk.
I've got a place for you, too.
Lester lets Scooby and Shaggy stay on the roof, which would probably be a pretty cool place to sleep, let's be honest. But the aliens strike again and abduct the duo up into their spaceship.
We'll be released after questioning and physical examination.
I mean, if Lester's story is anything to go by, we all know what these aliens are really into, so thank goodness Scooby and Shaggy tried to escape.
Little help here, Scoob!
But they get caught again, and the aliens use a worrying-looking device to... well, I'm not sure I really want to know.
Hey, man. Are you, all right?
Scooby and Shaggy wake up in the middle of the desert, where they run into a groovy-looking girl named Crystal and her dog Amber.
I'm like a freelance photographer. Amber and I are shooting some desert wildlife for a magazine.
She's like, chill, dude. Of course, the duo fall head over heels in love with the girls, and Shaggy is so besotted, he even reveals his real name.
What's your name?
Norval.
Norval?
I never actually knew his name was Norville. I thought that was mind-blowing as a kid.
I think I just found my dream girl. Wee woo.
Crystal drops the boys back off at the diner, where, amazingly, they no longer have an appetite.
How about you, hon?
Nothing for me. We either.
What?
What? You mean after all that scoffing in the last two movies, I don't have to order 3 pizzas in case the film makes me hungry? I'm almost disappointed.
I think they're seriously in L-O-V-E.
Instead, Scooby and Shaggy fantasize about the girls in this very groovy musical number.
She came out of the blue, and in an instant I knew everything would be groovy.
It's quite catchy, and I like the callbacks to the original show.
Groovy, just us two, so groovy. Don't forget Scooby-Doo.
Also, it's kind of amazing how this one tiny shot of Scooby on a pogo stick actually led to a toy called Pogo Jumping Scooby. The ad was on TV all the time.
Scooby on his new polo stick! Hey, Scooby, that looks like fun! Wow, you sure can jump!
New Pogo Jumping Scooby-Doo comes with batteries. Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders on video and DVD now.
All the rage in the early 2000s. I ship it.
I think Scooby and I were abducted by aliens last night.
But since the gang have to solve the alien mystery, it's time for everyone in the town to start looking weirdly suspicious. Grr, how dare they pay me money for food? Or maybe the culprit is the local mechanic, a very friendly man who goes above and beyond to help all his customers.
I'll tow it in and work on it when I can.
That's a face you can trust. While walking through town, the gang run into a guy called Max, who works as a team of surveillance experts monitoring signals from the stars.
Ever make any contact?
Not yet. I'd be happy to show you around.
Their leader is Steve, voiced by Mark Hamill.
But if there's even a tiny chance of making contact with alien intelligence, it'll be worth a truckload of boredom.
Mark Hamill voicing a character in an animated movie? I'm sure there's a perfectly innocent explanation for this.
Steve thinks it's boring work.
And he's right.
While the rest of the gang help out these lovely people, Scooby and Shaggy meet up with the girls again, only for Crystal to reveal that she's actually a secret agent looking for signs of alien life.
I was sent by the government to investigate alien sightings in this area.
She did it, didn't she? I mean, a girl and a dog would just so obviously fit into those weird broccoli costumes.
I was wondering if you had a boyfriend.
As a matter of fact, I don't.
While snooping around, they bump into a pair of goons who try to shove them around.
We should put you all under arrest.
Next time, we aren't gonna be so nice.
A pair of real comedians, these two. Meanwhile, the rest of the gang get picked up by Lester the Unlikely, giving them a lift to see the friendly mechanic, who gives them perhaps the most warmest loving welcome ever delivered by a human being. Despite the goons prowling around, the gang go looking inside a secret cave, where they discover a treasure trove of gold buried underground.
What would aliens want with gold?
Ask them, Shaggy.
But it turns out the aliens are there waiting for them, leading to yet another musical chase to fill up space on the soundtrack. I guess this is meant to be the Terror Time song for this movie, only it's all about aliens instead. The lyrics are pretty strange though. I kinda like it.
Silence, Earthlings! You should not have interfered.
The rest of the gang get captured, but it doesn't take a genius like Velma to figure out these aliens aren't what they seem.
Give up the hokey alien charade now, Steve.
So, you figured it out, huh?
Yes, it turns out Steve and his gang are the ones behind the alien abduction plot. When they found the gold hidden under the earth, they disguised themselves as aliens to keep people from discovering their spoils so they could reap all the rewards.
The townspeople said they saw spaceships.
Yeah, this whole scheme feels like something out of classic Scooby-Doo, where the monsters always turned out to be people in masks. I've said before that I was never the biggest fan of this as a kid, but maybe I should give it the benefit of the doubt this time.
We bought this chopper with some of the gold money, and we dressed it up to look like a UFO.
But wait a minute, how are you supposed to make a helicopter look like a spaceship? And if the alien thing was all a scam, why on earth did they need to go down the whole probing route? I mean, that right there, that's just messed up.
Ooh, you're pretty smart, Velma. Too bad you've made your last deduction.
Ah, another addition to the great pantheon of animated movie villains. Judge Claude Frollo, Scar, Steve. Honestly, this feels like a bit of a come down. Zombie Island had soul-sucking cat creatures, Witch's Ghost had Ben Ravencroft turning into a mentalist, but here the villain is just a guy in running shorts. I mean, it's just not threatening.
Nothing personal. You just know too much.
But I guess it's just a small step from greed to sociopathic murder, so Steve plans to drop the gang into a bottomless pit while Scooby and Shaggy get cornered by the two dummies near the edge of a cliff.
We came to see if you're all right.
Yeah, we didn't want anything to happen to you.
Just look how they walk. Could they act any more like goons if they tried?
Stand back! We're warning you!
Oh, don't hurt us.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What a pair of goofs. However, it turns out that Crystal and Amber are more than just skin deep, and they transform into real aliens to scare off the henchmen.
Let go!
Okay, this is more like it. They're intimidating, they can bend metal. These two are awesome. Especially this giant lizard thing. How come that didn't get a toy?
If we captured those aliens, it would be worth more than all this gold.
But Steve plans to capture the aliens to make even more money and attacks them with a giant bulldozer.
Scooby! Shaggy! Those aliens are Crystal and Amber! Huh?
But Scooby and Shaggy finally face their fears and rescue the girls by impaling Steve through the chest, so at least you can say he had a great bad guy death. Oh, alright, he didn't really die. Instead, he just trips over. Seriously, he might as well be slipping on a banana peel. Could you imagine what a real villain would be saying about these guys?
Losers, all of you. A disgrace to the name Joker.
Sadly, even though the bad guys are defeated, Crystal and Amber have to bid goodbye to Scooby and Shaggy.
You really are a groovy guy, Shaggy. I hope you will always think of me as a friend.
It's a bit depressing, actually. They did have genuinely good chemistry together.
Goodbye, Scooby.
Dig that, Scoob! A talking dog!
But instead, the pair fly off into space, never to be seen in the entire franchise ever again. The villains are dragged off to jail, and the mystery machine is finally returned to the gang by the mechanic, who turns out to be a big softy who loves collecting flowers.
When people think you're soft, they walk all over you.
I always knew he was up to nothing but good.
You guys okay?
Like, we're just completely destroyed.
Scooby and Shaggy are heartbroken over losing their dream girls, but the promise of a Scooby snack is way more important than romance, and the gang drive off into the night. So that was Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Not too much to say, but overall, I do like this one. It has a neat desert atmosphere that's kind of appealing, and even though Stevie Boy isn't going to win any bad guy awards, I think they were trying to be a bit subversive this time, making the actual monsters good guys where normally you would expect them to fill the antagonistic roles instead. Maybe they were trying to say that sometimes humans can be the real monsters. Ooh, now that's deep. I think the side characters make up for a lot in this one. Cool aliens are always going to win you some bonus points, and I'll take these two over the Attack of the Killer Broccoli any day. It's a shame they never appeared again. It feels like they had a lot of potential, but I guess long-distance relationships are just too far out, man. Thanks for watching this video, and look out for more reviews coming soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, support me on Patreon for early access to new episodes, and don't forget you can buy a ton of these tapes from the official Back to the Past eBay store. See you next time.